We're going to use a modifier to delete part of the sphere. And I just want to open the scene from scratch to illustrate what I just mentioned in the last movie, which is that selection that we made is preserved in the scene file. I'm going to go ahead and open that and go to the open. It's going to take me to my current project scenes folder. 0404 build modifier stack is the file I want. And it doesn't look like anything selected at first, but it's a little bit deceptive. If we select the object and then go into the modify panel, once we go into that modify panel, we can actually see that that selection has been made. As long as I don't click off of this and deselect those polygons, then I'm good. If I accidentally click off of it, then I lose that selection. I want to get that back, so just undo with Control Z. When you make a selection, that selection is passed up the modifier stack to the next item or the next modifier. And the flow here is from bottom to top. The next modifier that I apply will only affect those selected polygons. So let's add the modifier, go to the list, and the one I want is delete mesh. I want to actually erase that part of the sphere. Scroll down a bit through all these many modifiers and choose delete mesh. Okay, so we've just deleted those parts of the sphere. But the key here is that we have not permanently deleted them. We've non-destructively deleted them. In other words, we've sort of hidden them. They don't exist in this mesh object because we've applied a selection and then applied a delete modifier. So it actually doesn't have those polygons anymore, but we could easily bring them back. Lots of ways. For example, we could disable the delete mesh modifier, or we could make a different selection. We could go back down the stack, maybe down to the level of polyselect, and make a different selection. Now, in order to see the results of that different selection, we would want to enable an option here in the modifier stack, show end result. And if it's off, we don't see anything past the current level of the stack. In other words, I'm at the polyselect level, and if show end result is off, which it currently is, then we do not see anything that's above the current modifier. But if we enable this, we see the so-called end result. This is what we get after all of the modifiers have been processed. And just because of the way the program has been constructed, we can actually see the erased polygons. They're kind of there in this sort of ghostly wireframe mode. And that's there so that we could make a different selection and see what we've deleted. Okay, so I can make a different selection, and I'm still in polygon mode, and I could go up here to the front view and drag a selection rectangle. And when I release the mouse, we can see here now that not as many of those polygons have been deleted. All right, select a bunch of these. So that is how show end result works. And it's also how we're able to pass a selection from one modifier to the next one. And let's say I want to delete less of this. I could remove from that current selection using the Alt key. This is another important keyboard shortcut in 3ds Max. Hold down Alt to subtract from a selection. So I could say select these guys here, and now they've been subtracted from the current selection, which means they're not getting deleted at the top of the stack. So that's how you can select and delete polygons directly using the modifier stack.